First,
Okay.
Larry, how you feeling?
I'm feeling fabulous, Lynn. I get to talk to you. That's always a good thing. There's many people that would love to be in my seat right now and get the chance to rap with you.
Oh, that's very kind of you. I
Yeah.
could say the same thing, and I'm jealous that you get to be out at Edgewood Tahoe again, one of my favorite events. I've covered it many times. What keeps you coming back?
Well, I mean, obviously, this tournament has raised over $8 million since inception, and 70,000 people in attendance, and get to be able to, you know, build relationships with people that you see on TV, and get to watch the professional sports and entertainment industry, and like it's just really a special place and a special week.
Well, you're one of the celebrities, of course, a lot of these people are looking forward to seeing. I mean, we just talked to P2. He's excited to see you out there, but who are you most excited to see? This is a stacked field this year.
I've built really long relationships with a bunch of guys, and so like I got a chance to play with Dwight Freeney today, who I've been friends with for almost 20 years, and Jerome Bettis and Ray Allen, and we always have our little money games, and so like those are the things that you really look forward to, spending time with those guys that you've built these great relationships. And I got a chance to play with George Kittle, obviously, competed against him for many years in San Francisco and watched him on receiver, and like such a good guy. So like you get a chance to continue to strengthen the relationships that you have, but then you also make new friends along the way.
For you, I mean, what's it like going into this tournament knowing there could be a pretty big announcement coming for you maybe this year as we look ahead to the Hall of Fame induction class?
Well, none of that stuff is in my control. I did everything I could to put myself in position to one day hopefully get my name called. And if it's this year, I'll be elated. If it's next year, I'll be elated. If it's 5 years from now, I'll be elated. You know, the people who have earned their right to be in there have done an amazing job of laying the pavement for me to be able to walk on. I'm drinking from a well that I didn't dig from. So whenever that time happens, I'll be really happy about it.
Obviously, sent Patrick Peterson off into his retirement, this new chapter. I
Yeah.
got to ask you, I kind of know the answer, but is P2 a Hall of Famer?
I mean, you can't write the story, of the Arizona Cardinals and this elite cornerback play without talking about Patrick Peterson. I mean, he came on the scene dominant, not only as a cornerback but also as an elite special teams player. Even played offense when he was with Bruce Arians. He could cover you in man. He was outstanding in zone. He just had a great penchant to be able to make plays when the ball was in the air. And so I think Pat definitely should be immortalized when his time comes.
And now you're getting ready for the next chapter for your son, Devin. He's committed to Notre Dame. What was that process like as a father? And what excites you most about going into his senior season, knowing that this is behind him now?
Well, they have a really good football team, so they're going to be able to compete for, a state championship this year. They got a really tough season opener against Basha. They'll probably be ranked number one going into the season. So, they're going to get a great test, right out the gates, and we're going to see what they're made of. And it's been a lot of fun to see a lot of the young men, Dalen Sharper going to Stanford, and Case Vanden Bosch, who Devin's gone, to school with since they were in, pre-K. To see him doing it and see Bash, go get him a scholarship, and so many other young men that have worked so hard to be able to put themselves in position, to be able to have the continuation of their athletic career is really cool to see.
And you're obviously a wealth of knowledge, but we've talked about your relationship with Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm just curious, does he get to work with Devin? Do they have a relationship or kind of a mentor mentee friendship at this point?
Well, you know what? I do my best to try to stay out of it. Like Devin got a chance to meet him
Mhm.
last year in the off season, and they've actually built a really good relationship. Marvin's been kind enough to talk to Devin and help him through this process, and then even came out to a game or two last year. And I'm really thankful that Marvin would even take the time to do it. That obviously he's got his own things going on. He's got a life, a great career ahead of him, and to take the time to be able to look and try to pour into a young man like him, it means a lot to me as a father. And I just hope my son really appreciates how rare that is.
That's so special. And we've seen Marvin bulk up. We saw the moves in the draft, kind of going heavy on defense, retooling. What's exciting you most about seeing what the Cardinals are doing? We're looking ahead to training camp here in a couple of weeks. What are you most excited to see?
Well, Coach Rollins, man, I mean, that guy has done an unbelievable job. I mean, he's going to be a head coach in the National Football League very soon. When you think about the injuries that the Cardinals went through, not only in training camp, but throughout the season, especially on the defensive side, and like they didn't flinch. Obviously, being led by Buda Baker, who's top 5 players in the game. I mean, the guy plays like he's 6'6", 300 pounds, and just flies around and makes plays. And I mean, so many players stepped up and made, exciting plays for the Cardinals, especially defensively last year. They're a really fun team to watch. They never are out of any games, and they compete to the end. Coach Gannon always has them ready.
And you see a guy like Trey McBride, I mean, have the season he had last year, Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee. What are you most looking out for out of him this season as he continues to establish himself as one of the best tight ends in the league, if not the best at this point?
Yeah. Yeah, Trey's just continued to get better, since his rookie year, and I was really happy to see him get rewarded with a nice contract. He's truly deserving of it, but got a chance to see him, a couple times this offseason, and he's just tenacious in his pursuit of greatness. He's not satisfied with what he's accomplished. He knows there's so much more out there for him. He should definitely be in that conversation when they're talking about the best player at the position. His name should be, one of the first few mentioned. And I'm really excited that he's in an Arizona Cardinal jersey. We're lucky to be able to watch him every week.
Yes, I know fans miss watching you out there every week, but what is your message to the Bird Gang as you process what's ahead for this team, what fans can look forward to? What would you like the Bird Gang to know?
Well, I mean, it's always exciting during this time of the year. I know we got a few weeks until training camp starts, and everybody's itching, for football season to get going. So I'm really excited to see what they do this year. Obviously, last year they really, in my opinion, just competed every single week, and you take that type of mentality into the games, and a little bit better execution. I think they should be able to win the division. I think that's what everybody that's rooting for the Cardinals would love to see, and Kyler, get back to being an all-pro player. He's capable of being. You got James Conner, who's the most bruising, dominant back that you can think of. I mean, the guy continues to churn out 1,000-yard seasons and, doing it without a lot of fanfare. And, the offensive line was banged up and he still was able to produce. And so, like, there's a lot of really fun things to be able to watch with the Cardinals. And, especially with that defense, I think they'll do really good.
Absolutely. We know you're a general sports fan. Devin Booker now signing this extension to stay in the Valley through 2030. I mean, he's a fixture in this community. What's that mean to Valley sports fans to see a guy like that, similar to you, commit and want to be here and bring a championship, ideally here to the Valley?
Yeah, I mean, Book is, I mean, I love the young man. Ever since day one, I've just been a really big fan of who he is as a person. He continues to pour in this community. He's constantly showing up for people in many ways that people don't even see or acknowledge. So see him be rewarded with an extension and know that he's going to be here. I was nervous. You hear all this chatter in the offseason about these moves, and to know that he's going to still be, with the Suns makes me very happy. And I know we're going to be competitive with him leading this team. And so, I hope he plays the rest of his time. I hope he plays another 10 plus years here in the Valley, and he gets a statue outside of Footprint Arena soon.
You both deserve statues. Let's be clear on that. I know you're
Nah,
humble about it, but I think the Bird Gang would love to see a Larry Fitzgerald number 11 statue out in front of State Farm Stadium.
no, having a statue, at State Farm Stadium means a little different than any other statue. There's only one statue that's there, and that's Pat Tillman. And so when you think about that and what he gave up and what he's contributed to our country, to our community, the level is on a much higher level than anything any one individual can do on the football field. So the standard is, I think he should be the one and only to get a statue.
Humble as always, Larry. We'll get you out on this. It's Patrick Peterson's birthday today. How are you guys celebrating?
Well, I didn't get a chance to see him today, but I definitely gonna catch up with him later on tonight, give him a hug and tell him I love him. He's aging like fine wine. He's hitting the driver grade out here and looking and styling and profiling as always. So I'm looking forward to celebrating him.
Yeah, he said this is the first season he's got to work with a swing coach now that he doesn't have to prepare for training camp. Kind of
Yeah,
cool.
it is. It is. He loves his golf. He always has, and to see him getting better and really tightening up the driver. He's hitting those tight BBs now, and he should definitely be in the running for having his name on that leaderboard this weekend.
What about football analyst and broadcaster? That's what he said his aspirations are. Does he have the chops? Could he take my job?
No, nobody's good enough to take your job, but he definitely has the skill set. He loves ball. He knows it. He studies it. And so all he needs really is an opportunity to go out there and showcase what he's capable of doing. And I hope he's able to get that if that's really what he wants to do.
Of course, he could get some tips from you. Of course, you're no stranger to being in front of the camera, and it's always good to see you, Larry. Have fun out
Thank
there and give Charles Barkley a big hug for us here in the Valley as well.
I did. Did you see his eagle today? He's balling.
Oh, okay. I heard. I
Yeah,
heard he's doing pretty well.
yeah, he's doing really well. I mean, he's been working really hard. I actually flew out here with him. We had dinner the night before, and he's been putting a lot of work in. So it's good to see the results showing up.
Okay, good to see it
Yeah.
finally showing up, right? He says he
No,
practices every year.
it can never come too late. The golf game can never come too late. Trust me.
You're right about that. Well, have fun out there, Larry. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much for your time, and we look forward to seeing you back out here in the desert.
I appreciate it. Stay cool.
Oh, we're trying. We're trying.